Rion. Despite the fact that she is only alive for one arc, her impact on Sakamoto Days, both in terms of the actual plot and for power scalers, is insane, so let's talk about how strong she really is. Properly introduced during the flashback arc, we immediately get a bit of an indication as to how strong she is when she's shown scrapping with Nagumo and Sakamoto. We already know that Nagumo and Sakamoto are really strong even in their student years, so to see Rion so casually blocking Nagumo's sneak attack and then dismantling his gun makes for a really good first impression. Moreover, Sachida straight up just says that the three of them have been fighting for 9 hours, which points to her insane endurance. And as a whole, the trio's little practice fight really just serves to suggest that all three of them are relatively equal to each other. Later on, Rion gets to show off a little more of her skill when she's searching the department store for the Steel Dragon. Now, while Rion does just straight up fight fodder here, it is impressive that she's able to use all these random items as weapons and neutralize threats so quickly that the lady she's talking to doesn't even notice. So once Rion takes these goons to the changing room for interrogation, she hears a loud crash and realizes that Sakamoto and Nagumo might be having a little bit of trouble. As it turns out, they're fighting Kandaka, and even though Kandaka is holding back, he's blitzing the dog shit out of them. Sakamoto and Nagumo can't even see him, and by the time Rion pulls up, Kandaka is actively tossing Sakamoto through several flights of stairs. Kandaka suddenly gets chills though when he feels Rion's presence and the existence of several killing paths. In an instant, Rion is throwing hands with Kandaka and even has him on the back foot, with Kandaka noting that Rion's pathway for movement has absolutely zero wasted movement, making her insanely efficient. This sets up Kandaka to be comboed by Nagumo and Sakamoto, inspiring him to pick up the speed. Now, Kandaka does imply that Nagumo is the strongest, at least between him and Sakamoto, and promptly tosses him across the store before turning to focus on Rion. Kandaka throws a knife at Rion only for her to catch it and kick a pillar, breaking it. Kandaka dodges and flat out just says that Rion is doing the best out of the three of them, especially since Rion has actually not taken any damage from Kandaka as of this moment. With this info, Kandaka runs away, and just as Rion turns to slice what she thinks is him, she ends up cutting a bottle of hot sauce instead, which burns her eyes and takes her out of the fight. Sakamoto ends up finishing the fight for them, and Kandaka's lazy ass bestows the trio with his escort mission. During this, we get a few showings of Rion's abilities, like when she detects a sniper from 300 meters away with just her eyes and promptly deflects the bullet. So if it isn't clear, Rion's perception is insane and probably is top 1 in the series. Later, she does some quick aura farming with her motorcycle, but she doesn't actually do anything crazy in the realm of power scaling here. Instead, it's a few statements that Rion makes that really give us a sense of the trio's power dynamic. According to her, Nagumo is the most calculated and precise out of the three, Sakamoto is the best at making anything a weapon, and Rion is the best at using actual weapons. If her and Sakamoto were to fight naked in an empty room with just knives, she would win, but in a room with regular items, Sakamoto takes it every time. Now, this is a pretty crazy statement that essentially has Sakamoto stronger than Rion in nearly every circumstance, but that doesn't stop Rion from having some crazy showings later on. Like when the tunnel is caved in by Koba, he specifically singles out Rion as being susceptible to poison because of how fast she is. And when the gang figures out that they have to kill Koba without moving, Rion almost instantly creates a plan using Kandaka's wheelchair and a grenade to fly over to Koba and engage in a knife fight. She then shows even more of her skill by using the recoil of her gun to artificially give her strikes more power since she can't actually move by herself. This completely puts Koba on the back foot before Rion tosses her knife and then shoots it to land another slash on Koba before Sakamoto pulls up and finishes the fight. From this point onward, we don't really have too many feats for Rion herself. She pretty easily beats Izuki as he's running away, but this Izuki was far from being mentally well and later loses to Izuki because she realizes it's him and decides to hold back. Instead, the really staggering feats come from way later on in the manga through a combination of stuff Rion does while in Izuki's head and Akira's feats. For starters, it's not really clear how the personalities behave in Izuki's head. We have no idea if they're as strong as they were in real life, and we also don't even know what that would mean in the context of Izuki's mind, since they're literally just figments of Izuki's imagination. What we do know is Takamura was wreaking havoc on Izuki's mind and seems to just randomly take control from him, implying that Takamura, even in Izuki's brain, is absurdly strong. Whether he's as strong as Takamura in real life is unclear though. What ends up happening is that Rion is the one that takes back control, where it is explicitly shown that Rion lands a hit on Takamura to get him to let go of Izuki's mind. Now again, we have no idea how the power scaling of Izuki's imagination works, but given the fact that it seems like Takamura is explicitly made to be strong even in the mental realm, it sort of lends credence to the idea that Rion is also pretty strong since she's able to take back control. This idea is further pushed in the recent chapters, as Akira has probably had the best performance against Takazuki that we've seen so far. Everyone else that has fought Takazuki has had to run away or nerf him in some way, and yet Akira is not only landing hits, she's gone for an extended multi-chapter clash. Shishiba pulled up enraged and landed a single hit on Takazuki, only to nearly have his head cut off. Osaragi got immediately blitzed by him and was effectively dead were it not for Gozu. Shin only survived via plot armor. Takazuki literally killed the original Takamura. And yet, Akira has countered, blocked, and slashed Takazuki, all while dodging this entire flurry of slashes. She's used the killing path to effectively combat Takazuki, even going so far as to realize how to avoid dying and redirect his own attack. And this is an Akira that has barely had any time to be an assassin. Rion is significantly more experienced, far more cold-blooded, and definitely more skilled with a wider variety of weapons. To say that Rion is insanely strong would be an understatement. She might actually just be the perfect counter to Takamura. Now, there are a few things I want to point out. For one, Akira's scaling has always been really wacky and can be considered a little, if not very, inconsistent. The same can be said for Takazuki. Because Izuki's personality copy has been straight up shown to be not exact copies and are instead faulty replicas, we can't in full confidence say that Takazuki is completely equal to Takamura. It is very possible that Takazuki only won his fight because Takamura was more injured and was missing an eye, but in all fairness, Izuki had also just been stabbed and cut by both Nagumo and Takamura prior to the fight. However, the fact still stands that Takazuki was about to cut off Shishiba's head, and even a fully healthy Shishiba wanted to put down Izuki before he could bring out Takamura. For Akira to be doing this well against him with so little training is absurd. The killing path she has access to should be virtually identical to Rion's, meaning that Rion should do just as well, if not even better than Akira when fighting Takazuki. With this in mind, I'd be willing to say that Rion has a legitimate shot at taking down Shishiba, and maybe even properly contend with Takamura himself. All in all, Rion has the makings of a potentially top 5 character in the verse. Even though she doesn't have that many showings, we can upscale off Akira, who has identical abilities and worse skill/experience, and given how strong Akira has proven herself to be, Rion very well may be one of the strongest characters in all of Sakamoto Days.